Okay, I'm gonna record this today, just today. Alrighty. Okay, so we have week 13. There's Arlene. All right, so week 13, just an FYI, it's not much new from week 12 due to the fact that we kind of, moved a little backwards today, but there's no pressure in that. We are, I have put the stuff basically from week 12, which is the acid and base stuff up again. This is what we're going to be using tomorrow and Wednesday. I have also uploaded the worksheet that we're going to be doing in review today, and the answer key, so you guys can take a look at that as you're doing it with me. All right, and try to sign in every day. The reason why I feel like it's better to sign in every day than just look at a recording, because let's say you have a question and nobody asked that question to the recording. I mean, yeah, you're gonna look at the recording, but you're never gonna find out if your question is right or not. I mean, you can ask through email, yeah. I'm sorry, my email's like, I try to answer as fast as I can, but there's times where, like, because of the pregnancy, I'm not feeling well, so I'm not answering as fast. So just an FYI. Zoom links are there for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, due to the fact that on Friday you guys work, so we don't have class. You guys have work, okay? So same objectives from last week, because we are still doing the same thing from last week. You guys are not blue group, so there's no need to look at element of the week. And then Monday, like I said, is review day. Also tomorrow is green day. So tomorrow we're doing element of the week because they had element of the week last week. So they're presenting this week. We're beginning the acid and base lecture. So please try to log in. Wednesday, we're going to do the second part of that lecture. I'm going to go slow to make sure everybody gets it. But again, guys, I mean, don't be afraid to ask questions. There's no stupid question. There's no dumb question. Just ask your question, because it's going to be way better for you when we take the quiz. Okay. So make sure you do that. We don't have a quiz this week. Just an FYI, we don't have a quiz this week. So, if you have any retakes that you want to do, things like that, make sure, you email me to try to, obviously improve your grade. It doesn't hurt to improve your grade. If you have a B, you could probably have an A if you do one retake or something. So make sure you take a look at that. Okay. So that's that for this week. All right, so I figured out finally how to share with my tablet. So I was having trouble with the trust thing. Okay, it's already, okay, perfect. I don't know why. Yeah, it was just being really weird, but yeah, now oh, sorry. My friend is also pregnant, and she constantly texts me about, her progress. I text her about my progress, and she's not doing so well as I am, so I kind of feel bad for her. But yes, I will try to make sure. Let me put it on do not disturb, actually, because I don't want you guys. Okay, there we go. Do not disturb is on. Okay. So last week we started looking at some of these. Um, Especially we looked at the ones from. Come on. Oh, we looked at these ones. The beginning ones, like the element metal from the left hand side and non-metal from the right hand side, and that we look at we get the symbols, we get the charges. If the charges do not match, we can switch the charges. Okay, that's kind of what we looked at last week. And so we were using the non-colored periodic table. So we definitely got through binary ionic compounds. Okay. I do want to review some of the polyatomic and multivalent to make sure that you guys got it down to to the T. You guys got it down. You guys know what you're doing, and you guys are not having trouble and things like that. So let's take a look at number 8. Okay, again, I'm looking at number 8. Okay, number 8. Okay, it says write the formula for iron 2 fluoride. Write the formula for iron 2 fluoride. So again, you're using the non-colored periodic table. You're going to find iron first. Okay, you're going to find iron. And where am I going to look for iron? So let me give you a big clue. If you see a Roman numeral like so, you're going to look at the split boxes. So these little split boxes, that's where you're looking. You're not looking here for iron. You're looking here for iron. Any split box that you see, that's where iron might be. Okay, because iron is a multivalent, which means it has multiple charges. Okay, and when someone finds iron, can you just shout out the symbol, please? What is the symbol for iron?
Fe.
Fe. Yep, perfect. The symbol for iron is Fe. Now, another thing you need to remember, the Roman numeral tells you the charge of that iron. You don't have to guess which one am I using, which one balances, things like that. No guessing. Just look at the charge that they give you. What is the Roman numeral here? So that you see, so what will the charge of iron be, of Fe be?
2.
2. Yep, plus 2. Plus 2. All right. Fluoride. Now, this is the key thing that I want to make sure everybody understands. The second one is always either going to be a non-metal, meaning a non-metal from this side, or a polyatomic. I want to help you so you can find it quicker. Okay, so how can you find it quicker? There is basically a general rule. So if it ends in, oh, let me get this. If it ends in IDE, it's a non-metal from right side of the stairs. Okay? If it ends in, hey, no. If it ends in IDE, then it's a non-metal from the right side of the stairs. Meaning, if you see an IDE ending, you're going to find it here. If you see an IDE ending, then you're going to find it there. However, stop. If it ends, let me put it more to the, in something else, then it's a polyatomic. Where do you find polyatomics? You find them here. Okay, if it ends in anything else, then it's a polyatomic. Ends in IDE, it's a non-metal from right side of the stairs. If it ends in something else, it's a polyatomic. Okay, so remember that rule. Remember that. The ending tells you where it's going to be. Fluoride. Where would we find fluoride? On the right-hand side of the stairs, or would we find it in the polyatomic in the polyatomic chart?
Right.
On the right, yes. On the right, perfect. So fluoride, let's look on the right-hand side of the stairs. What is the symbol for fluoride?
F.
F. What is the charge for fluoride? What is the little top right-hand corner of the symbol? What do you guys see there?
-1.
Negative. Yep, you see a negative, so that means it's -1. Now, as you can see, the charges do not match. So you do the same thing for every single, basically all of these end the same way. You just switch the charges if charges don't match, which they don't. So this is FeF2. Why FeF2? Because F has a charge of 1, so we only need one Fe. Fe has a charge of 2, so we need 2 Fs. All right. Let's do another one. Tin 2 acetate. Tin 2 acetate. Tin. Tin. All right. We will, again, we see a Roman numeral, which means we're looking for split boxes. Anytime you see a Roman numeral, you're looking at split boxes. So when you can, find the symbol for tin, please.
SN.
Tin is SN. Tin is SN. Now, according to the Roman numeral, what charge are we using for tin? According to the Roman numeral next to
2.
tin, what is the charge of tin?
+2.
+2. Again, according to that Roman numeral, it's going to be +2. Acetate. Again, look at the ending. What is the name for acetate? I'm sorry, what's the symbol of acetate? I don't know. Well, sorry, before we say symbol, let's go back. Where are we looking for acetate? Are we going to look in the right-hand side of the periodic table, or are we going to look in the polyatomic sheet?
Polyatomic.
We're looking at the polyatomics. Another thing that's great about this list right here is that it's in alphabetical order. This list is in alphabetical order. Okay, so acetate means that it's going to be one of the first ones. What is the symbol for acetate?
-1.
Symbol. That's the charge. Yes, -1. What's the symbol?
Oh, CH3COO.
Awesome. Thank you. And it's -1. Again, charges do not match, which means switch the charges. That means that, oops, my symbol is going to look like SN, sorry, CH3, COO, parentheses 2. Why did we use parentheses? We use parentheses here due to the fact that we have a polyatomic. And because we have not only because we have a polyatomic, we need more than one of that polyatomic. We need 2. So that is why the polyatomic is in parentheses. Are there any questions for these 2 that we just did? Any 8 or 9? Either make sure you either type it or say something. Any questions for these? Okay, I want to do one more of these. Let's look at number 16. Let's look at number 16. Calcium hydroxide. Calcium hydroxide. Calcium. What is the symbol for calcium?
Ca.
Ca. Now, notice, ladies and gentlemen, calcium does not have a Roman numeral. Calcium does not have a Roman numeral, which means you're looking for a regular box. Okay, you're looking for a regular box that's not split. That's where we found calcium. It's number 20. What is the charge of calcium?
+2.
Calcium is +2. Now let's look at the second half, hydroxide. Now notice for this, it ends in IDE. So normally we would say, okay, that means it's on the right-hand side. There is no non-metal, there's nothing on the right-hand side that's named as hydroxide. Because this one right here is a polyatomic. It's the only polyatomic that we're really going to use that ends in IDE, and it's a polyatomic. Okay? So hydroxide, just remember, it's a polyatomic, ends in IDE. It's a polyatomic, ends in IDE. Okay? What is the symbol of hydroxide?
OH.
OH. And what is the charge?
-1.
Exactly. Again, charges don't match. Same thing. Switch the charges. So what does that mean? That means that this is going to be Ca parentheses OH close parentheses 2. Again, because we need 2 hydroxides, it needs to be in parentheses. All right. Now, oops. I want to take a look at these bottom ones, covalent ones. What is different from, so these are completely different from what we've been doing up there. These are all kind of basically the same thing. Now, basically 1 through 21 is the same thing. Symbol, charge, switch the charges, that's it. It's the same thing. This is different. Okay? Why is this different? First of all, these are both on right side of stairs. Okay? And then both of these, so we don't worry, no worries about charges. We don't worry about charges here. These as well have prefixes. Prefixes tell you, oops, the subscript to use. Okay? And these, you're going to use the colored periodic table. Again, both of these are on the right side of the stairs. No worries about charges. Prefixes tell you the subscript to use. You're going to use the colored periodic table. So let's take a look at number 22. Tetraphosphorus hexaoxide. These, I'm going to tell you right now, these are really hard to Google. Why are they hard to Google? Because Google, a lot of these are made up. So when these are made up, and especially in the quiz, a lot of them are made up, Google doesn't give you the right formula because it doesn't recognize it, because it doesn't know if it's a real compound or not. So that is why it's better just to use your knowledge on how to do them and do them yourself. Tetraphosphorus. Well, we're going to ignore tetra for right now. We're going to ignore it, and we're going to look at phosphorus. How come I want you to use the colored periodic table? Well, because on this side, if both of them are on the right side, I told you that. So both of them are, you're looking here. There is no phosphorus on this side. All of them end in IDE. If all of them end in IDE, meaning there's none of them end in OUS. Let's take a look on this side, however. There is a phosphorus on this side. It's number 15. Okay, it's number 15. What is the symbol of phosphorus? What's the symbol of phosphorus? It's number 15.
P.
P. Okay. Now you might say, well, there is a P on this side, and there is. It's also number 15 here as well. That says phosphide because it changes the ending for you. So this is why I want you to use the colored periodic table. However, you can use, this is also another prefix, so we'll ignore that. You can use the non-colored one for the next one. You can use this one for the next one. Oxide. You should be able to find oxide on this side. What is the symbol for oxide?
O.
O. All right. As you can see, I asked you only to find the symbols because I said no worries about charges. You are not balancing charges here. You leave the charges as they are. Instead, you're paying attention to the prefixes because the prefixes are going to tell you what subscripts to use. So using the little chart, the stuff that I told you, so all of you should have this written down, the mono, di, tri, tetra. You're using that to figure out what numbers you're using for the subscripts for each atom. So tetraphosphorus, tetra, what does tetra mean?
4.
4. So this is a 4. What does hexa mean?
6.
6. P4O6, and that's it. That is it. That's all you're doing, guys. Let's look at number 23. 23. Sulfur. First, let's find sulfur. Again, use the colored one for the first one so you can actually find it. Find sulfur. What is the symbol for sulfur?
S.
S. Great. Difluoride. So we're going to ignore the di right now. And now we're going to look in the non-colored side. Now we're going to look on this side. Find fluoride on this side, on the right-hand side again. What is the symbol of fluoride?
F.
F. Thank you. Now, oh, I did forget one thing here. I knew it was 5 bullet points. Okay. Sorry, I'm going to go back to my list right here. So no prefix, or if prefix is mono, that equals no subscript. Okay, so if there's no prefix, or if prefix is mono, that means you don't add a subscript, you don't add a little number. So let's take a look at sulfur. We don't have a prefix there. We're going to leave S as is. We're going to leave S by itself. Next, we're going to look at fluoride. Di. What does di mean, number-wise?
2.
2. That's it. All right. Let's do last one. And when you get, I want everybody to try number 27 by themselves, please. Try 27 by yourselves. Okay. Let's look at number 27. Nitrogen monoxide. Nitrogen monoxide. Nitrogen. Again, look in the colored side first, okay? For the first element, always use this side first. Nitrogen, what is the symbol for nitrogen?
N.
N, thank you. Okay, next, again, we're gonna ignore the prefix. We're gonna look straight for the next element. Oxide. What is the symbol for oxide?
O.
Oh, perfect. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's look. Nitrogen does not have a prefix, again, like sulfur, so you don't add a subscript. You leave it as is. Then let's look at the next one. Monoxide, mono. Remember, so mono, what is the value of mono here? According to the list where I asked you to write it.
1.
1. So and it says, why does it say mono, no subscript? Because you don't need a 1. With the symbol itself, you're saying there's only 1. So you, again, leave it as is. So that one's just NO. Okay, so before I, close this and erase all this stuff, are there any questions? Anybody that didn't understand one problem, anybody, if you're looking at this and you're like, okay, you know what? That problem doesn't make sense. That problem doesn't make sense. Or I can't figure that one out or whatever. Okay. So if that, let me just stop.